to the movie, the short film Eternal Words.
Yes,
Hey!
this was such a beautiful film.
Yes, I was truly happy with the way that it all came together. And just even when you were talking about, um, I don't know, I feel like we need to remember to enjoy in the moment what we're doing. And just the gathering, and I'm very big on communities, so it was, even though there's a lot going on, I still was able to enjoy in the moment. How was it for you?
My gosh, it was such it was weird, like, but in a good way. Um, I really liked working on the film. It was great working with everyone. Like, hopefully, look forward to working with everyone again. And I think it was just like it was perfect. Like exactly.
Oh, you're
No,
just saying
exactly.
that.
Yeah, no, like I think like it was perfect. Um, Sometimes there's so many things, people don't get along, you have people with bad
Mhm.
attitude. No, like it was a really great experience. It was a really great working environment. And I think that it made me feel like you want to feel safe. You're going to meet strangers at a location.
Right.
You
Yeah,
want to feel safe at the end of the day.
very true.
And it's the epitome of stranger danger, strangers at an undisclosed location. you know? So when you get there and like it's just a good vibe, everyone's welcoming, everyone's professional, and that's like an A plus plus right there.
Yeah, yes. And that's again just creating that environment, just bringing those people together to be able to create that. So that's why I always remind everyone, just have fun. Let's not just be there and then have these negative attitudes. It's not going to be good for us, and it's not going to portray correctly, in my opinion, on film with something like you said is meant to be so beautiful. So yeah, I'm glad that you had that experience. What was it that initially had you say yes to taking part in this project?
I mean, honestly, a large part is you. Like
Oh,
meeting you and having the discussions and talking about the film. Like I think we just talked. We're both a Willie P alumni and we were just
hey.
talking and conversing. Yeah, I think people take for granted how much being likable and being a good person, you know, goes towards people wanting to work with you on projects, regardless of the project.
Yeah.
And I think that, and then of course reading about the script, and I thought it was beautiful. Um, it was just beautiful and touching and sweet, and I was like, oh, this is a no brainer. Like,
Oh, yes.
why wouldn't I do it? And then I got to meet everyone else. I got to meet Rachel. I got to meet Ike and Tracy, and it was like I think I even met your parents on set. Everything was wonderful. So I
Yeah.
think it just goes to show like when you get good people together to do a project, like that in and of itself is enticing to make people want to work on it.
Yes, I agree. Um, that is definitely something that I think can be easily overlooked, where people are just focused on one section and not the other things that are, to me, are important. So, yeah, no, I enjoyed chit-chatting with you and just like the connection with Willie P. I was like, oh my gosh, another alumni. That's so cool. And then we were just brought together. So yeah, that was it's a pleasure for me. And like you said before, of just connecting with other people to discuss about the art, right? It's when you have a love and passion for that, that's just gonna naturally happen and just build on that for sure. So for you, you played a role in this film where you got to give a very poignant news to the main character that Ike plays. And it was just I think one of the most touching points in this film. Um, and when you did audition, it was something where a lot of us were like, yeah, this is definitely Asha. We just felt that you were very, the word I was going to use is pure. That's not quite the word, but there was just something about you where you were, there was like a no-brainer for us that you'd be able to give this beautiful news that the character that I played needed to hear. It was needed. And elegantly, and just really can portray it the way it needed to be. So we were excited that you took part in it. But for you, because it did seem natural, but I know there's always a preparation for it. So was there anything that you did or they want to share to just make sure? Because again, when people do get a chance to see whether it's at a film festival or when we are um, to the time that we can post this, because right now it is going through film festivals and people see the point that I'm talking about, this turning point for him. You know, that is a big deal. So was there a way for you to be able to put yourself in that, to be empathetic to him and just really portray this very heartwarming moment for this character? What was your preparation like?
Think, I mean, similarly to when I prepare for a role, I think the power of imagination is super important.
Hmm.
And if you can pull from your own life or real life experiences, like I'm a super empathetic person. I'm definitely the person who like cries during like the animal shelter commercials that are on TV because I put myself in the other person's shoes. Like, and I think for my character, I thought about the main character and the main characters and like what would that be like if you were trying to finish something that was really important for you. I don't want to like give it all away. You know,
Yeah.
like maybe you didn't have a lot of time left or maybe you didn't know what was going to happen. Like we technically don't know what's going to happen. Like any day like something could happen, and I just put myself in that person's shoes and all the character shoes to kind of get a sense of their own headspace and then how I would interact with them knowing what I know. um I don't know. I think about that. So like reading
Mhm.
pieces of the script, I know as actors we aren't usually always given the whole thing, but what I do know, how can I put myself in the other person's shoes in order to really like understand my point, my place in the film, and when I'm delivering a line, like what am I giving back to that person? What is, the subtext of all of that?
And did you feel, because I also, this was a discussion before where wasn't necessarily with me involved, but actually it was Viola Davis. I heard her talk about this, where she prepares beforehand up to a point, and then when she's on set, she just gives back to what the other actor is giving her. Do you find that to be your way of acting as well?
Yes, I do. I feel like you have to like that's one of the big things about being an actor is like the call and response.
Hmm.
So like what is the other actor doing? Um and what they're giving you. and, and I do find myself when I've gone on set to just lean into that. When you're practicing by yourself or you're practicing with another actor, someone standing in just working the lines with you, it's different than when you're actually, practicing and get the chance to really do the script with that person, do the scene with that person. So there's that adjustment and it's so organic because we're both living people and they're performing and you're performing, but it's like symbiotic, you know?
Yes.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
definitely, I totally agree with what she said. Yeah.
Yeah. It made sense to me. I was like, this is really, it makes sense. So it was only to a certain point that you can prepare for a role until you're with the other person. So a few last questions as we wrap up this interview. So the first one that I ask in each interview, it is in honor of James Lipton, who did Inside the Actors Studio. I used to watch that show all the time, and he would ask the actors on his show, if heaven is real, what would you like God to say to you at the pearly gates?
I don't that's such a hard one, first of all. I feel like that was the hardest question. Okay. I don't know. I feel like I've met so many people here on earth who have said the things that I needed to hear when I needed to hear it. And I think that, when you walk up to the pearly gates, I think it's just about I don't know. I feel like I've been given so much. I feel like I've been given so much and so much yet to come that
I
I
just think
think
it's
it would just be
more,
annoying.
yeah, I think when I think of that question and why I like it is I just think that you have lived your life and it's more of a reflection, and then you're meeting someone who is seen as the ultimate creator
Yeah, so
of like
big.
how you're here. So when it's more of like the end of the time of everything that you did, it's more of like what you want to be remembered in a way. But for him, like to say what?
Feel like with my personality, I'd probably have some choice words. And me and
That's
him would probably like look at each other for a minute. We'd probably just stare at each other. And I
stare.
think
Okay.
we just know. We just
Okay.
know, like, they would know what I meant, and I would know what they meant. I would just walk away.
But
Like,
like, mm-hmm,
yeah,
mm-hmm.
like,
Yes.
yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Body language.
The body language is everything. And that is part of your craft too. So you could take that. Okay, and then just the other question it comes from every time I do an interview, I ask that person to pass on a question to the next person I'm interviewing. And then, of course, the last person I interviewed was Ike. And his
Yes.
question is, if you could mold your career after any actor, who would it be?
Oh my gosh, the person who comes to mind because she is just killing it and I'm obsessed. Jenna Ortega. Like
Oh, okay.
there's I mean Beetlejuice, Wednesday, Scream. I'm such a huge horror, the weird quirky comedies like Beetlejuice growing up. I mean, I'm a lover of that. I wanted to show this horror cinema book I have. Because
Wow.
I'm a big horror cinema fan.
That's
Gosh.
like, I think like it looks like the beast from the lagoon or something like that, right? The creature.
Yes, all the old movies I love. So Jenna Ortega, right now, I'm just looking at her like, oh my God, she gets to do so many cool things. I watch a lot of projects and I'm just like, oh my gosh, I love it. So Jenna Ortega is the
Hmm.
person who comes to mind the most. Yeah.
Okay, so now you just have to see how you can make that for yourself. Yes, that is you. Just following all that. Yeah, I can't wait to see I saw the clips for the Beetlejuice. It looks good. And sometimes when they come out and they say, yes, we're remaking this, I'm like, no. Like Death Becomes Her, like I'm like, oh, you're remaking
Wait, they're
that?
remaking that?
Yes, they
I
are.
haven't seen anything. I have to read about that. Oh my God. I
And I
love
don't
that.
know if it's true, but like Goldie Hawn was one of the actors in there, and so her daughter, who I adore, love, Kate Hudson, might be playing and
And are they gonna have Meryl Streep's daughter? Because she also acts too. Okay, I'm on
yeah,
board now if they have both
yeah,
children
I believe
playing.
so. I believe that's what they were saying. Like I don't want to say 100%. I can't remember. And I forgot who said was going to be the Bruce Willis character, but um, I'm a little bit more open to that. But yeah, the Beetlejuice one looks great. I think they did a good job. We'll have to see the film to actually see because, trailers can, be deceiving a little bit. But I'm
Mhm.
very hopeful. I'm very hopeful for this one. I'm excited. I'll be watching. Um, and of course, then now Jenna Ortega is on my radar since that's who you want to mold.
I love me some Jenna. I every project that I've seen her in, I really enjoyed.
Hmm. Well, that's good. That means
Yeah.
she's doing really good, right? I mean, she is. But for you to want to mold your career after her, then she's doing really good. Is there anything last that you want to share before we say goodbye?
No, no. I just want to thank you. I want to thank you for giving me the opportunity to share my craft in eternal words. I'm so thankful that we got to connect and we
Me
got
too.
to do the interview. And I'm very thankful. I'm thankful for the person you consistently show up as Nicole, okay? And you're a beautiful spirit, a beautiful person. And
Thank
I'm
you.
thankful.
Thank you. Yes, it was our connecting. I believe it was for a reason. I'm very thankful that you're a part of this project. It was absolutely wonderful to work with you. Look forward to working on future projects and many more with you. And thank you so much for taking the time to do this interview as well. This was a wonderful interview. It really was. And I hope that many people get to watch this, see it. There's a lot to take away from this. And thank you for sharing that because you could have kept that to yourself and you didn't. And I think it is important that other people get to hear from someone else that has gone through what you did and was able to come through that such a beautiful way. So thank you.
Thank you.